hello, and just welcome to the intro.
For the Super Divorce Supercast. I feel like today we kind of like had a little bit of a slow start, and then I brought up EA, and we started talking about Battlefront, and then I complained about it a little bit, even though my complaint is rather minor in the grand scheme of things. My first complaint.
Yeah,
but then I started complaining about EA, and that kind of launched us off for a while.
Yeah, and then we went on and on about microtransactions.
Yeah, so if you're a gamer, you will probably have a lot to relate to in this episode.
Yeah.
And then we got a little bit of horror movie talk there at the end, mostly about Romero's Night of the Living Dead is coming to the Criterion collection. But while you're listening to all that, you can check us out on the internet, because we're all across it. We're everywhere. We're in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You can start at www.superdivorceme.com. Make sure you check out our store while you're there. We've got CDs and cassettes for our new album action figures.
And t-shirts now.
We've got t-shirts now, buttons and stickers.
Mm-hmm.
And we got vinyls coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
Which are available for pre-order on the website?
Not yet.
Not yet?
They will be soon, though.
Okay, so you'll be able to pre-order vinyl here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then you can find us on Facebook.com/SuperDivorce, Twitter @SuperDivorce, Instagram @SuperDivorceBand. You can search for us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We are so close to being able to say youtube.com/SuperDivorce.
Yeah. Getting close.
Getting close. So give us a subscribe. If you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram @BenderButt, and I'm trying to get onto Twitter, so you can find me on Twitter @BenderButts.
And if you want to get at me on social media, just look up @Nicholas Villars.
And that's it for the intro. So please look forward to this episode of the Supercast.
We are not getting a divorce.
We are not getting a divorce.
We are not getting a divorce.
Hey man, welcome to the Super Divorce Supercast. This is Villars.
And Bender.
Stone Sobercast today.
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Sober.
Stone Cold Steve Sobercast. No beer me.
That's okay.
It's kind of a strange afternoon cast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we didn't get together at the normal time on Thursday, and then you were working late.
I was working late. We had our Thanksgiving banquet.
Then I was under the weather yesterday.
Yeah.
Still kind of recovering today, but I feel much better.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we are. Saturday afternoon.
Yep. And it's a blustery day outside.
I haven't been outdoors but to pick up a few packages that got dropped off.
Yeah.
It seemed fairly warm.
It is warm. No, it's warm.
It's warm, but it's blustery. That's usually, you don't usually get those two together.
No, it's good tornado weather. At least that's what the forecast is predicting, potentially.
NATO's?
So I heard, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Some tornadoes coming
through. Right through Speedway. That's what I heard. I don't know. I always feel like, they're always like, there's going to be a fucking tornado, and then there's like never a tornado. There's only ever a tornado when you're not anticipating a tornado.
Yeah.
When the Weather Channel's like, bro, this is good tornado weather, like you should like fucking watch out, there's not a tornado. But then like, you wake up one morning, and it's like, oh my god, this place was hit by a tornado last night, and it was so unexpected, we had no idea. Like, that's when you get tornadoes.
Almost like we can't anticipate what the weather's going to do all the time.
Yeah. almost like meteorologist jobs are all jokes. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's just. It's like, what time is it? It's like 3:00, but it's practically dark outside.
That makes me think of when you were talking about, you brought up meteorologists just then. I was watching a show called Last Man Standing. You heard of it?
The Tim Allen Show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ends up pissing off one of his wife's friends because she drags him along to a neighborhood party, and he starts talking to this lady, and she like referred to herself as a scientist, and then he ended up finding out that she's a meteorologist, and he's kind of snickering about it. And he's like, well, your job, how does it make you feel that your job could be, replaced by a free app on everyone's phone, you know? And she gets very offended by it, but it's kind of true.
Yeah,
I mean,
a little bit.
It's like you just point at fake clouds on the screen and,
Right.
I mean,
their job is just interpreting, like, weather pattern data taken from satellites and robots and stuff. Like, they don't...
I feel like if you... Look, okay, I'm sure that if you are a real meteorologist that you have to put your work in, but if you show me a screen with, like, the swirls...
Yeah.
And it's, like, red in the middle, and it's kind of, it gets, like, lighter as you go out, and then you go to the green. It's like, I know...
And then you give me a forward progression, repeating GIF of this, like, swooping up these clouds.
It's like, okay, well, all the people who are in the path of that red are going to get fucked up. And then everyone who's in the green area, you're okay. It's like a light drizzle.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get some flurries.
Right.
And then, the people who don't have anything swirling over them are probably going to experience fairly
normal,
clear conditions.
Right.
So, what more is there?
Yeah.
What else do you have to know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, all this data is compiled by satellites and robots and computers and stuff, and then you just kind of, like, read it aloud for the class.
Yeah. So it's like your personality is really more important.
Yeah.
If you can make it fun, if you can make the news or, like, the forecast fun for people, and maybe not everyone can do that. Maybe not everyone has the charisma to go up there and point the way you do.
Yeah, it's true.
Make weather jokes.
I don't know.
I think my favorite... I remember growing up, I always called him the weatherman. Carl Nichols. I don't know if you remember Carl Nichols.
No, I don't.
No. He was the local weatherman at that point. I don't even know who does local weather now because I haven't watched local news in so long.
I have no idea. It beats me.
Sorry.
I don't listen to the radio enough to hear, like, tonight on such and such, and then weatherman so-and-so will give us the forecast.
Yeah. Your extended 5-day forecast coming up.
The news is so important but dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't imagine working at a local news station.
I have a buddy that was a cameraman in a news station.
I mean, I guess you just don't think about, like, we're so fixated on national news.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the stories on the local news just seem so paltry by comparison.
Well, you don't get like local news stories on Facebook unless you're following the local news or something like that. Like, people don't share that stuff. Like, you're just seeing what's going on in the world, what's going on nationally, what's going on, at other places in your own state maybe, but you don't get, like, whatever.
And it's strange because you should care about what's going on locally,
right,
more than nationally or even worldwide to a degree, or at least care
an equal amount.
Yeah.
Because it's where you fucking live.
Yeah.
Like, you live in this city.
But no one can tell you about, like, their city council or what the mayor's policies are? Like,
I know, the one thing, my parents were, with the local elections that were recently or whatever, my parents were voting for a particular guy for judge because he was the lawyer that basically got my sister full custody of her daughter.
Oh.
So they were like, we're voting for him because he helped us not have to deal with the father at all ever. So, but other than that, like, I don't fucking know anything about Middletown.
Seems like you want someone who's going to crack down on the opioid epidemic.
Well, the sheriff is. That's
good.
My parents have talked about that too. Is that they're really trying, and that the sheriff is like super. He's very open about what they're doing to fight it. Like it's not very undercover. He's very much like, okay, this is what we're gonna start doing or whatever. And I think they made like a huge drug bust not too long ago.
Gotta crack down on those crooked doctors too.
Yeah.
Getting people addicted to shit that they really don't need.
It's crazy.
Oh, I was gonna mention, when I stepped outside earlier, I had an Amazon delivery, but it was just like a guy. It wasn't UPS, it wasn't FedEx, it was just a guy, like in his car.
My buddy was doing that.
Really?
Uh-huh. If you get hired by Amazon. Oh, I think he was driving. Well, he was working for Amazon. Yeah. He just drove to work and they like hand you a bunch of packages and then you just like drive them around and then you go home.
What blew my mind though is like, I was imagining, okay, well, maybe they have some new system where they're doing something like that, where you can just be like an Amazon driver, like Uber.
Like, yeah.
But he didn't have a car that looked conducive to delivering packages. It looked kind of like a Honda Civic.
Uh-huh.
Like a fairly small car.
Right.
It was like that guy probably was not able to get much more in his car than what he dropped off at my house.
Yeah,
Like,
I saw the packages. They're rather large.
Yeah. So maybe, like, if he had that amount to drop off at each stop, he'd maybe be able to put, like, 4 or 5 houses worth in his vehicle before he would have to go back and pick up more from wherever I don't know. Just seems like an odd thing.
Strategy.
Yeah.
But then, like, Amazon as a company doesn't have to pay for like trucks or anything.
I
to
guess
drive
so.
around.
Yeah.
You just get people to deliver shit in their own cars.
I mean, I guess if you lived very close to like the distribution center or something, but
I guess.
I think there's one in Kentucky, but I can't imagine you're making enough money dropping packages off that would make sense for you.
My friend lives in Mason, so I think there's got to be some sort of place nearer, some sort of routes, nearer where you just get your packages locally.
Yeah. And
then drive them around, because he wasn't driving to Kentucky every day, I don't think. But
I don't know.
I just got, let's see. Well, I showed you saw the picture, but I got this baby Selwyn figure from Dead Alive, and then I got Chud 2 on Blu-ray.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I bought them both from a friend of mine, and
I think he's downstairs. I'll be right back.
yeah, right now he's playing a lot of drums. We were downstairs in the basement earlier, which Nick cleaned, by the way. Like, it was dirty as fuck, and Nick cleaned the whole thing up and set up the drums and everything, set up my drums and dusted and hung up some cool stuff for us, and he just had to run out of the room because his son was down there banging on the drums. Well, I don't know if you guys heard it, but that's what he had to go take care of. So he'll be back momentarily. In the meantime, I'm going to play with this Minecraft torch that lights up. I don't get Minecraft. Like, am I too old? But I know there's plenty of people my age that play it. But I just don't get it. It's not terribly fun for me. Did you hear that? That's Warrior. I wonder if this torch would like work as a flashlight. I mean, it might, kind of. It feels weird to just like sit here and talk to yourself, you know what I mean? That's why I'd rather just sit in silence, but I don't want to keep you waiting that long. Even though Nick is keeping me waiting. And there's stuff I could talk about, but I want to wait for him, you know? So that he can respond. And the more I talk, I'm already starting to forget what we were talking about in the first place. Isn't that terrible? That's what all you kiddos have to look forward to, even though I'm not even that old. You can just look forward to like talking and then forgetting what you're saying in like minutes. And now I'm just sitting here trying to think of what it was, and I can't. Fuck. Nick's gonna have to remind me. Danger zone. Why is taking longer than I expected? That's okay. He has to deal with his son. Oh, we were talking about packages in the mail. It's a cool torch.
Alright. You telling tales of the torch?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit I was. Yeah. So, we were talking about, what, packages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Chud too, but I got like a bunch of... I think where I was going with it, I'm not really sure where I was going with it, but I think where I was going with it was I still have like a buttload of packages headed my way by the end, for like the rest of the year, really, which is exciting.
Do you know which one you're looking forward to the most?
I don't know if I'll have it by the end of the year, but I really want the Suspiria Blu-ray that I got from Synapse. But in the next week or so, I should be getting that Silent Night, Deadly Night Collector's Edition from Scream Factory. Because when you pre-order stuff from them, they ship it 2 weeks before the release date.
Yeah. In time for the holidays.
Yeah. Oh, I think it releases like the first week in January or something, or maybe the second week in December. Second week in December, so like it should come last week in November or something like that, maybe.
How did your banquet go?
Really well. Like, fucking killed it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, I kind of went into the day, like, not freaking out, but I was just like, okay, like, I don't really know how this is gonna go. And then, like, 2 hours in, I was like, what am I even worried about?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was good. Everything was really good.
That's good. So your staff handled everything okay? And
Yeah. For the most part, I still need staff, but we
complaints from the old folks?
No.
Oh, so are you, do you see Esther again these days?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How's she doing?
She's same.
Yeah.
Same old, same old. The other day, she came walking into the dining room, and she doesn't use a walker, or like, I think she has a cane, but, she's still pretty mobile. But anyway, she comes walking into the dining room, and her table's probably, like, kind of in the middle of the room. And she's walking, she gets to her table, she pulls out her chair, she, like, slowly sits down, her butt hits the chair, like, and she just shouts, like, why hasn't anyone taken my order yet? I have been here for 20 minutes. And I was like, just fuck you. Like, I mean, she doesn't know. But, yeah, as soon as she sat down, well, why hasn't anyone taken my order yet? I've been sitting here. I've been here for 20 minutes. And I was like, yeah, it just...
Had she been there, like, walking around?
No.
Or
No, it was like front door of the dining room to her seat. I've been here for 20 minutes. You absolutely have not been here for 20 minutes.
Oh, jeez. A real peach.
Yep, she is. But I mean, then it just like then you take her order, and if you get her order within like a minute or so, then she's just like, you are just the sweet. Thank you so much. You're a doll. It's like, I just can't.
But there's a window. You have to
yeah.
You have to get it there fast enough.
Yeah, but it's on her too, because sometimes she'll like order a hamburger, which we cook fresh, and then like then she gets mad that she doesn't have her food, and it's like, well, you ordered a fucking hamburger, dude. Like, it's gonna take like 10 to 12 minutes probably, maybe not that long, but
yeah,
like it's gonna take minutes. Minutes will be taken. Because a lot of times, they're thick burgers. They're not no McDonald's patties.
Yeah. Not hanging out under a lamp.
No. They're cooked,
Made to order.
Made to order. So they fucking take a little bit. Yeah, but she'll complain. She's like, I don't have any food yet. Well, that's because you ordered food that we have to cook.
Oh, so let's see. Before we started the podcast today, we just recorded our first station ID for a radio station in South Carolina.
Yep.
In Charleston.
Charleston. Yeah. It's a radio station run by the local library there.
Yeah.
The public library. But they wanted us to... They were playing our music. They've been playing our music. Or we're at least in the rotation, or whatever. So, Nick reached out to them just to say thank you, and they got right back to us and were like, well, you guys should record this for us and send it to us. So, we did.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
So, if you're listening to, was it WYLA?
Yep, WYLA Charleston.
Charleston's independent music source.
Then you might hear Super Divorce calling out WYLA.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. It's just fun. It's a fun thing.
Yeah. That we never would have done if we didn't do this little radio campaign.
Right.
That's turned out much better than the online portion, which is really, it's like a bad taste in my mouth about it. Just like, I haven't received a report back on like the online stuff for like 3 weeks. Just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What am I paying you for here?
Like all this, like they were supposed to get us to bloggers and stuff.
Yeah. And it's just like nothing. So
yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, well.
I mean, even if people were turning us down left and right, like I'd still want to know that people are turning us down left and right.
Because we could use some of that still. Like, we did for a couple of those little posts where we took the bad comments and kind of had some fun with them. But it's just been quiet. So I wrote an email to the radio team the other day and told them they were doing a great job. Thanked them for their hard work. Didn't say anything about the online portion.
There's that passive aggressive burn.
Yeah. Hello?
Hi, it's me.
Yeah?
I want to be in the podcast for a second.
Yes?
What?
Can I help you? Is Mommy here?
She was.
She was. She left again?
Yeah, she didn't get her packs.
Oh. Well. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, she's lost her mind.
Guess so.
I think she forgot about the packs.
Guess so. Alright, we need to tell everyone hi and bye.
Hi, bye.
Alright, there, you're on the podcast now.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, bye.
Go play your games so we can finish up.
Sure.
Okay. Sure.
Sure.
Oh.
I got Battlefront 2
Did that just come out?
yesterday. Well, if you pre-ordered it, you could buy it on like Tuesday, but I just bought it yesterday because I was like, I'm not in any hurry really.
Have you played it yet?
I played a tad, yes. I already know I'm going to get a lot more traction out of this game than the last game because there is an arcade mode where you do the old school, like, you can do, 100 versus 100, and you've got like 10 people on your team at a time, and you just play against the computer, or you can drop it all the way down and be like one versus, you versus 100, and you just have 100 lives, or, or you can have 2 people on your team, or 5 people, whatever. I think it's 10, 5, 3, and 1, maybe. That might be it. But when I had the original Battlefront on Xbox, that was back when accessing Xbox Live, I feel like, was a lot more difficult. Like, you had to like plug into a modem, like use an Ethernet cable, and like it was a hassle to get that all set up.
Yeah.
And I was too young. I didn't have any interest anyways. But so when I had Battlefront, that's all I did was just play against the computer matches, and I played it and fucking played it and played it and played it because it was so fun. And I think I'll get a lot more use out of this game. Unfortunately, there's not like an arcade fighter squadron mode, but
that made me think when you were talking about like having to plug in Ethernet cable to the original Xbox, that even the first generation of 360s didn't have built-in wireless.
Right.
It's kind of strange to think about now because you just take it for granted, but there was
You
the
could-
wireless adapter that you
Yeah.
had to get. And then when they came out with the I can't remember what they called them. They didn't call them Slims, I don't think. Because
Elite.
The Elite, that was it. Those had built-in wireless.
Yeah. And now it's like with, eventually you got to the Xbox Slim and even the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, we've got built-in wireless. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And now it's just expected. It's an expected thing now.
So, Skyrim came out for the Switch yesterday as well.
I saw Doom is out too.
Did Doom come out?
Yeah, I saw it at Walmart yesterday.
Oh.
I really want a Switch to be able to play Doom on the go. And Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I think like a lot of third parties are kind of scrambling to get in on it now. When a lot of them were kind of like hands off, holding their breaths at the beginning because they just thought, well, this might be like the Wii U,
which
flop.
You can't blame them.
Yeah,
but
it's like just breaking all of Nintendo's records. Really happy for them.
Yeah, it's good that they're back on top, and there's going to be a new Metroid Prime game. So I just I hope that it is like a Metroid Prime, not a sort of like a upgraded side scroller. I want Metroid Prime 4, or even Metroid Prime like some sort of redo or remake or something like that. Retelling almost.
It'd be cool to even get like the trilogy ported to the Switch. Maybe they'll do that before the new game comes out. That'd
be sweet.
Good intro. So I don't think they would do another side scroller just because they just released that one on the 3DS.
Yeah.
That
Samus Returns or something.
Yeah. And I think it was kind of a remake of the one on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, probably.
From what I heard.
I don't like the side-scroller Metroid games that much. Granted, I've not spent a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
But I have played them, and I just
prefer the...
I think my first introduction to the character was Super Smash Brothers. And I just thought, like, she was so badass. Like, just the way her armor looks amazing.
Yeah.
The hand cannon is just, like, so cool.
Yeah.
Like charging, and of course when Super Smash came out, like I was super into Dragon Ball Z, so like charging up that giant ball and like being able to fire it, just like it spoke to me at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for a good character design. And so then, eventually the GameCube came out and Metroid Prime was released, and that was the first Metroid game that I played. So it's like when you go from Super Smash Brothers, spending time with with Samus, to Metroid Prime, like a side scroller just feels weak.
Yeah.
Like because Prime is so well done for a first person GameCube game. For a first person shooter. I mean, I don't know if I can think off the top of my head like another first person platformer shooter.
I don't know.
Like, there were serious platforming elements.
Well, you might put Portal in that genre.
Portal. Yeah. I'm down with that.
And I guess like some elements of the Half-Life games feel pretty platformy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess FPS games that are they have that platform mechanic and it's not just run and gun. not just blast through everything.
I never played a lot of it, but maybe Bulletstorm.
I've heard people say good things about that one.
That was a Blazinski game.
Yeah, I think he was part of that.
I don't know how much platforming there was in that game. There was a lot of like interaction with the enemies.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there was much like platforming. Like I'm talking, in Metroid Prime, I'm talking like you have a double jump. You are climbing up levels. You're going down. You can turn yourself into the morph ball and you roll around into mazes and stuff. You get your laser like swing, and so you're swinging across caverns and stuff. Like there's a lot going on other than just shooting things in Metroid.
I've still never played those games.
Oh my god, they're so good.
How's the soundtrack? Do you remember?
It is it's like every bit. It feels like an updated version of the old soundtrack. Like I don't know what the old music is, but it just feels like GameCube's version of an 8-bit song. You know, like what they're capable of. The soundtrack is really cool. Lots of really cool like computer noises and stuff. It's good.
I'll have to get around to those.
Yeah. I've only played the first one, but like I think I've told you before, but I've beaten the first one probably 2 or 3 times, which is like a lot for me for a game.
For someone who typically does not finish games.
For someone who doesn't typically finish games, I've beaten Metroid Prime a couple times. And it's really good. I think possibly maybe tonight my friend Timmy is gonna sell me his GameCube, which I'm going to flip. And the reason I'm buying it is because he's also selling his games, which are Melee, Wind Waker, Master Quest, and Tales of Symphonia. And I'm just like, yes. Because he wants $120 for it all.
So you're thinking about taking it and then...
I know, I'm gonna buy it from him, keep the games, flip his... and just take his GameCube to like a buybacks or whatever. And just make a couple bucks back on it, I don't think I'll get... I barely get anything, but like I have a GameCube. I mean, I guess so does Lindsay. Like I don't need 3 GameCubes necessarily.
I don't even know how much buybacks would give you for one at this point.
Probably. Do you have a GameCube? Okay.
As I recall, I think they were paying out like maybe $15 for it.
Well, still, that's like
there. Something.
Then I'm only paying $100 for this whole bundle as opposed to $120.
Yeah.
It's still flipping it for something.
Yeah. Do you have the Metroid games on GameCube?
I have the first one. I got it at Epic Loot Video Games for $10.
I was just thinking it would probably be cheaper to buy them on GameCube than it would be to get that collection on the Wii.
The collection on the Wii is expensive, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was selling for like $80 when we worked at GameStop.
Because it was like a steelbook tin. And it came in a tin box. I had it when I had a Wii.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I did with it.
Xenoblade was another one that was selling for a lot.
You have that, don't you? The second one's out for Switch. Is it out yet, or is it?
I think it's coming out. Yeah.
You should grab it just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case something happens. I think it's a much wider release. The first Xenoblade was a GameStop exclusive, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's why they were like, there was some controversy with that, where supposedly found a bunch of them sitting in a warehouse and then just like distributed them to all their stores.
Yeah.
And then what did they do? I can't remember why people were pissed off. People get pissed about everything now, but
Yeah. Trigger.
it was. I seem to recall them doing something kind of shady. As far as like the price goes and charging that much for it.
Yeah.
Because it was a GameStop exclusive, and then it was like, surprise, we found all these new ones, and then oh, okay, that was what it was. I think they took all of those, they shipped them out to the stores, and then they had the stores open them and sell them as pre-owned copies.
For $80.
So they could jack the price up to $80
instead
because
of
they
just
only
selling a
would've-
new copy.
Yeah, because new I think they would have been like $39.99 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's what it was, which is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
So, because they were not pre-owned, they were
Right.
literally coming to the store sealed,
Uh-huh.
and then they had everyone open them up and then put them in as pre-owned, and it was just like,
That's shady.
come on.
Yeah.
So are you gonna try and play some Battlefront today?
Probably.
Go home?
Yeah. I started the story. I got through the first mission in the story mode. So it seems pretty cool. I don't know if you saw my Facebook, but the like a minute and a half into the game, and the only like issue that I have so far is that they have aliens speaking basic, which is like English in Star Wars, you know. And it's not that aliens are incapable, like obviously Admiral Akbar speaks basic, and you know, plenty of other aliens speak basic, the Kaminoans, whatever. But it was just the fact that the first alien you see is a Sullustan, which is Nienub, you know, Lando's friend with the big that guy.
Yeah.
And like, so that's the first alien they show in the story mode. It's a cutscene, and he not only speaks basic, but like speaks basic with no accent. And I was like, the literal design of his face would probably lend itself to an accent, at least.
Yeah.
And like, especially since that race doesn't speak basic in the movie. Like, there are prominent scenes with Nienub in Return of the Jedi where he's just, you know, blubbering, and Lando understands him. Lando can speak it, so or whatever, can understand it, so he's replying.
Yeah.
Like, just give me subtitles. Make him say, and then like give me subtitles, and then the human in the room can also understand him.
Right.
Like, and then like you're running through, and it wasn't as bad because it wasn't a cutscene, but like the enemies that come at you, like I can tell are randomized because I died once, and then there were different people, like, and they randomize like gender, skin color, and whether or not they're an alien. It seems like, but it even still, it bothered me that one of the enemies came running forward and was like, you know, she's over here or whatever, and it was a Koran, which are if you can remember the Jabba's palace scene, the thing that looks like it has a squid for a head, that's a Koran. They live on Mon Calamari with Admiral Akbar's people. Admiral Akbar's people live on the surface of the ocean, and then the Koran live under the ocean. And he just like you have fucking tentacles for a mouth. Like you can't just clearly speak basic like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like they stressed so much how much detail they were putting into it and how they were like scanning original props and blah blah blah, but then you can't make them speak their own fucking language.
Well,
like it's not.
That sucks. It seems like if you're gonna go through the trouble to make all the visuals that, you know, true to the movies and source material, that you would take the extra time to get those details down.
Yeah.
Because the same people who are going to appreciate the visuals probably would appreciate the stuff that you're talking about too.
Yeah.
And will take issue with that disparity, you know, because it's like, I mean, you're a fan, but I feel like if you're creating the game, you should be on that level where you're bothered by something like that.
Yeah, like
you know?
like how many people had to watch the opening cutscene and be like, oh yeah, this guy speaking English is fine. Just like Pikachu speaking fucking English in the new Pokemon movie. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even care about Pokemon that much.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how many people approved this decision? They all need to be fired. Like, every one of them. None of them should ever work on Pokemon ever again. Making Pikachu speak fucking English.
So he talks just like Meowth.
Yes. In the new Pokemon Pikachu I Choose You movie or something, or Pokemon I Choose You movie. Yeah. It's like brand new, and at the very end, the same shit that happens in like the first movie where like Mewtwo and Mew clash and turn Ash to stone or whatever. It's like the same bullshit happens, but Ash like dives in and saves Pikachu, and then there's like a great video online of like somebody's like recording in the theater on probably like opening night or something, but he saves Pikachu from like this blast, and Pikachu's like hurt really bad, and he tries to like get him to go into a Pokeball, and Pikachu like won't do it. He won't go in the Pokeball, which like I didn't think they had a choice.
Yeah.
Like I thought you just, you know, if they were yours, you just Pokeball them.
Yeah.
So anyways, Pikachu's like laying on the ground like hurt as fuck, and Ash is just like crying, and he's like, why won't you get in your Pokeball? Why won't you ever get in your Pokeball? And Pikachu just like rolls over, and it's just like, because I just always want to be with you, Ash. And so like that happens, and this video that I saw like from in the theater, he like rolls over and says because, and there are like audible like and then like people, there's like murmuring, you know, like people are like, what is, and then you hear Pikachu go because I like always want to be with you, and some dude just goes, what the fuck? And then people start booing, and other people are like yelling, no. It's so funny. But I was just like, yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
How many people approved that? Because that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Maybe they thought that Pikachu would appeal to more people. But, like, how much bigger do you want a character to be? Everyone knows and loves Pikachu.
Pokemon. Pikachu is the Pokemon.
Yeah. You don't need to make Pikachu speak perfect English.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so ridiculous.
That reminds me of when they went to... They went from Blue's Clues to Blue's Room. Did you ever see that?
I don't know if I've ever seen an episode, but I like remember. Yeah, wasn't Blue's Room? Blue was like it was like puppets. It wasn't felt anymore.
Yeah. And Blue could talk.
Stupid.
In Blue's Room.
Stupid.
Yeah.
No. That's just,
you know.
No.
Your character blows up and gets over with all these kids with nothing but
that's what I was gonna say.
And everyone's fine with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what we really need, though? We need Blue to talk, just like everyone else. We need Pikachu to talk.
Like,
You know,
there's just no reason. There's no reason for it. Did you see all that that bullshit about EA has the most downvoted comment on Reddit of all time?
no, what was it?
Really? So people were complaining that the price to unlock like heroes and weapons and stuff was too high in Battlefront 2. And people were like sitting down and doing the math.
Oh, I did.
And they were like, you have to be number 1 in like every match for like 40 hours to be able to afford to unlock like Darth Maul or something, you know? And so EA posted on Reddit and just basically said something to the effect of, we want our players to like feel accomplished and feel proud of themselves when they get to a point where they can unlock things and la-di-da-di-da. And it got downvoted like 68,000 times. Like 68,000 people were just like, fuck you. And then they immediately backpedaled and like lowered the cost of all the heroes and everything by 75%.
Yeah.
But then I also saw somewhere, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw that somebody was like, don't believe the hype, EA reduced the cost of heroes, but they also reduced the amount of credits you earn per, like, whatever. So it still is going to take, like, a long time to unlock things.
Yeah.
I think, for example, I mean, and I only played arcade, so I don't know if you get more points being in online mode.
Yeah.
But I played a whole like arcade round and I only walked away with like 125 points or something, and to unlock your first hero, like the most basic hero, which is just like an elite trooper, is like 5,000 credits. So I would have to play like 30 arcade rounds just to be able to afford to unlock the most basic hero.
This is what I just read this the other day, that unlocking everything in Battlefront 2 requires 4,528 hours or $2,100. How do you justify that? Like,
I don't know.
You know?
Yeah. That's part... Go ahead.
Okay, so they could say, well, you don't have to pay for all this extra stuff, and it's like, fair enough, but who wants to play your fucking game for 4,528 hours? I mean, I feel like it's a big deal that probably over the course of almost 15 years now, I guess, that I would say I put close to 500 hours into Oblivion all the times that I've played it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people have put more time than that in certain games, but like non-MMO type games, like that's a good amount of time to
something that has a story that finishes after a while.
And then to go back and play it again, you know,
Right.
It's like there's so much to do. But it's all there in
Right.
one game, and you paid one price for it, and then it's like you play it.
Yeah.
And then you unlock stuff, or you find things, you buy things within the game, you know, but to require a player to spend that much time with your game, I mean, no one's going to do that.
No.
Even people who are playing it daily, that's just like, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that makes me want to do some math here.
I mean, talking about this, like, I really didn't look into anything before the game came out. Like, it's Star Wars,
Yeah.
which I'm sure is what they were banking on.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, after I saw that shit about unlocking and stuff, and then, like, when I getting the game, like, I almost, like, I'm glad that I have it because there's that arcade mode and there's a campaign, but I almost wish that, like, I hadn't bought it because EA is like really fucking people over.
Yeah. Well, here you go. If you played Battlefront every day for 12 hours, you would finally be able to unlock everything on day 377. You would have to play Battlefront 12 hours a day for 377 days to be able to unlock everything in that game. Okay, well,
But it's like, well, then it's like, but does that account for whether you're good at the game or not?
I think that's just saying, like, yeah, I guess if you're playing at a somewhat optimal level, around 4,500 hours. If you're not very good,
yeah,
could
like
take
what
you
if you
much
suck?
longer.
Like I suck.
Yeah.
I am not good at it.
Yeah.
I was having I didn't die at all, but I was still having a hard time, like, with the AI on rookie. You know, just because I'm not very good at aiming. Like they're moving target, and I'm just like shooting over their shoulder the whole time. Like,
another way of putting it, if you played the game for 4 hours every single day of your life, it would still take you 3 years to hit that number.
it's fucking dumb.
So, yeah,
Maybe I'll just trade it in.
that's basically, you're banking on no one ever doing that.
Yeah.
You only put it there so you can say, well, you can unlock everything without paying for it.
Right.
But no one's going to do that.
And this doesn't even include the DLCs I'm sure they're going to come out with that are going
Yeah.
to cost another $30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will say, and I did it because I had it pre-ordered, but I will say I should not have bought the deluxe edition.
What came with it?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Like fucking, I don't know.
I just steelbook or anything?
Nope. It just comes with like a download code for like some extra star cards and like something or other, like automatic blade mastery for like Yoda or something like that, and then automatic mastery for something else, and then like 3 star cards or some shit. And then I saw a sign on GameStop's window that was like, start your game with more, get like 15,000 credits plus like Darth Maul and like these star cards or whatever. And I didn't like know how to get that. It wasn't until I got home that I realized I picked up the game. On the front of the game, there is a sticker that you peel off. And so they're basically saying, here's the game. Let's say it's the basic edition, so it's $60. I don't even know how much it was, but it's like, here's the game. If you want to start off with an advantage, peel this sticker off and pay fucking more. Right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like, right off the bat, they're like, here, you can have this, but you have to pay for it. Not a pre-order bonus, not a thanks for picking up the game, scan this for, a free code to unlock this stuff. Like, I assume that it's like, peel this sticker off and pay an extra $30 to start your game off right.
Sad.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I renewed my Power Rewards membership when I bought the game, but I spent like essentially $96 on Star Wars Battlefront, and I'm like, never again. Like, if Battlefront 3 comes out, standard edition, like hardcore standard edition, I'm not paying anything extra for it, because I think the game is... I think it's worth buying, but, like, don't fucking spend a lot of money. Like, wait till it's pre-owned.
Do they do, like, blind loot packs in Battlefront? Is that how it works, too?
They do that now. Because every fucking game has to have a loot drop.
Yeah. And the whole randomized thing is such bullshit.
Yeah.
It's basically like gambling.
Yep.
You know? You're putting money in, you pull the lever, and then see what you get. And half the time, you're getting stuff, or you get stuff that you already have.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you get this thing and then you'll never get it again. It's like you could get the same thing 5 pulls in a row, if you will.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just like, I don't know. It seems a little sleazy to me.
Yeah. When I saw the loot drop thing, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, Overwatch has to have fucking loot drops. Destiny has fucking loot drops. I mean, Destiny makes sense. And I guess Overwatch too, but it just everything is now, we're only going to give you a little bit, and then you play for a little bit, and we'll give you some random shit that you might like and you might not like.
It would just be cool if you went back to the good old days of having like a store, and it's like your XP is your currency or something like that, or you get currency for that's equivalent to, you know, certain experience points. And then you go to your store and you see everything you could possibly unlock in the game.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, I'm going to save up so I can get this. And you like make that your goal. Instead of, well, I guess I'll pay $5 for another loot drop and hope that I get this thing that I want.
That's what,
like,
I mean, that's what, like, the first Battlefront had. You just saved up credits to unlock shit.
Yeah.
That's all. You saw everything you could unlock. You fought the good fight. You earned your credits, and then you unlocked it when you got there, you know? I unlocked, like, every rifle in that game because I would, like, make enough credits from Fighter Squadron. So I got every rifle.
Yeah.
Like, I unlocked a buttload of star cards just getting credits. Like, you can't do that anymore. Now you just get fucking loot drops. I don't even know if there's I haven't, like, scrounged around a lot because I only spent about 45 minutes with the game. But I don't even think there's, like, a store option. It's like you get a daily login crate, and then you get, like, probably match ending crates, but then you can buy, like, hero crates, part crates, and one other kind of crate. And I'm like, I don't, it's too much. Like, I feel like I will never play as Darth Maul because I'll never make enough credits to unlock him.
Well, it's I guess it gives one hope that there are games coming out where companies are avoiding that approach, I guess. Like, you know, in Mario Odyssey, there are all these different costumes and things you can unlock from Mario, but you unlock it by earning credits within the game.
Yeah.
You know? There's no microtransaction bullshit with that.
Right. What? Well, I don't know how much microtransactioning does Nintendo really do? Like, was there a bunch for Mario Kart?
No.
Not a bunch.
They had some DLC, but as I recall, it wasn't like they had everything ready when the game came out and then just withheld it. Yeah. So it was like really an add-on that they charge for, which is fine. That's like the old expansion pack.
If it felt like a full game to begin with, but then they were just like, hey, here's a little something extra.
Yeah. Or like the stuff with, you know, Breath of the Wild, you know, there's stuff coming out, but that was like $20, I think, for all the DLC as it's released. No big deal, really.
Right.
But it's just this constant prodding where it's like, you want to get the whole game? Huh?
Yeah.
You got to keep paying up, like 2 years after you've purchased the thing.
Yeah.
It's just a little much.
I just I
you
don't
said.
know anybody that like by the time the third or fourth DLC comes out that they're like, oh my god, this DLC redefines the whole game and makes it worth playing again. Like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Battlefront, like all of these games that have these like multi-pack DLCs. I don't know anybody that's like, this pack is like so worth it. We got to start playing again.
Yeah.
We have to get back into this because the new pack is out. Everyone's always like, by pack 4, everyone's like, I don't fucking care anymore. Like, I'm already playing this game.
Yeah.
I'm already playing something else. Like, and I don't know when it's gonna stop.
Well, I mean, they said they're gonna put microtransactions in Red Dead 2. I don't even know what the fuck. Like, why?
It's gotta be like GTA. Like, you can buy, the shark cards, and then you get in-game currency, and then you can buy more stuff in-game.
You want a new cowboy hat? Well,
gotta fucking pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't know, with GTA, for some reason in GTA, I get it. Like,
but I think they figured out, unfortunately, it's like, I don't know. I guess, like, if people are willing to pay for that shit, then as a company, if you're trying to increase profits, you might be like, well, then fine. We'll put it in because people are they're doing it, so. But then at the same time, is there a responsibility on the part of the game developer to, not exploit that whatever weakness and in the player's psyche, like I said, it's almost like gambling. I think people just feel like they need to keep doing it, and then they do, and you have to be able to control yourself, but at the same time, like, it just, something about it seems, like I said, a little sleazy to me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Perhaps if people stop paying for the shit.
They won't, though. I didn't. I bought the game. I spent, $80 on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get that I'm part of the problem. But
it's everyone talks about how shitty EA is, but their profits continue to soar year after year, and it's like, I mean, I'm sure from their perspective, it's like, okay, well, we got voted worst company, but
we're
at the
making
same
the most
time,
money.
yeah. So fuck it.
Like corporate doesn't care.
No,
I don't understand why people think that corporate anything gives a fuck. Like, they don't. They don't give a fuck. If they're making money, that's the point. So, whatever products they're putting out, if you're going to keep buying it, they're going to keep fucking making it the same way. Because once you hit a formula that makes a buttload of money,
especially if you're publicly traded.
Yeah.
If you are a publicly traded entity, it is, like, by law, you have to try to increase your profits. So once you hit that point, like you said, you strike upon a formula that works, even if it's like something that people think is shitty, you can't just say, well, we don't feel right about it now, because now you have an obligation to your shareholders to continue doing that, especially if it's bringing in a lot of money. You can't just be like, well, that maybe wasn't the best thing to do. It's like, too bad you did it and it's working, so you have to keep doing it now.
Yeah.
Until people stop paying for it.
Yeah.
Maybe they will at some point, but I don't know. It's not looking hopeful.
No. No, I know. Luckily, like I said, I'm not terribly concerned. Like, I had so much fun with the original Battlefront, just playing by myself and against computers.
Yeah.
But still being on the same levels as a multiplayer mode, and just just going arcade. Like the arcade mode in the previous Battlefront, I didn't like it as much. This one is much more true to the original, so I'll probably get more traction out of it. But I think the overall the practices that the game employs, I do not like at all.
Well, maybe you can just have your fun with it the old-fashioned way.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that I'll probably just end up get through the campaign, have fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm planning on getting Plus here, so I'll probably hop online at some point just to be on there.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna. I probably will not take the game very seriously. However, like I've said, I'm glad that the arcade mode is the way it is because I know I will play it that way. It's gotta make it worth it.
Well, you got anything else, Coach?
No.
No.
I got that big Halloween Scream Factory collection.
Oh yeah, did you get it from Walmart?
$39 instead of $60.
Not too bad.
Not at all. Oh, Best Buy is releasing an It Steelbook.
Are they?
Yeah, it's available for pre-order right now. I already pre-ordered it.
Ooh. I'll probably do that.
Yeah,
I don't pre-order movies very often, but I'll probably do that one.
Yeah, I think it's $30 for Blu-ray DVD combo Steelbook. Best Buy exclusive. I have the Best Buy exclusive Force Awakens Steelbook. It's got Kylo Ren on the front of it. It's really nice.
Did you ever pick up any of those Universal Steelbooks?
Yeah, Creature. Yep. The cover art the art's by Alex Ross.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
I didn't either until I looked at the case and it was like art by Alex Ross, and I was like, all right.
Pretty cool.
I've thought about going back to see if they have any like leftover, but Creature's my favorite, so I at least got my favorite.
Yeah, they're really cool, but I've got that whole collection of Universal monster movies.
It's on Blu-ray too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so it's tough to justify when you're thinking about stuff you want to spend money on.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I wanted to buy the Stephen King, like, they released a 4-movie collection called, like, King of Horror Collection or something.
I think I saw that at FYE.
Yeah, well, it's only $24 at Walmart, but I was looking at it, and I already own 3 of the 4 movies on Blu-ray. And the one that I don't own is Cat's Eye, and it's in the Walmart bargain bin. So, like, if I really wanted to, I could just fucking buy it.
Yeah.
And then I'd have all 4 in the pack.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm not going to get that. Oh, did you see Night of the Living Dead got added to the Criterion list?
No.
Yeah, it's getting a 4K restoration and being released, I want to say like soon-ish, like January maybe. But yeah, Night of the Living Dead got a Criterion release.
Huh.
And it includes Night of Anubis, which is like a work print cut of the movie.
Yeah.
And then it also... So there's like this rumored cut of Night of the Living Dead, I guess, called Night of Anubis. And it's supposed to include like all this unused footage. But I think Romero has said before that all of that footage was ruined in like a flood or something. But then just like last week or something, they announced that it was coming to Criterion, that it would include Night of Anubis. So I was reading an article yesterday. I was like, well, what does that really mean?
Yeah.
And I think there's just like there's like an alternate scene where like I guess the zombies are coming at day instead of at nighttime. There's like an extended argument in the basement or something. There's a couple extended things, but largely the cut isn't much different. And then they also had to cut it in a certain way because the movie was shot on 35 millimeter, but the scenes that they're adding in that were not included in the original are on 16 millimeter. So they had to like downgrade the original movie to meet what they're adding in, get it all together, and then like try to restore all of it together.
Okay.
So they had to cut it to match the audio track. So it's like kind of different, kind of not different. But they're also including like just never before seen scenes, I think, as like a bonus feature. But I don't own that movie at all, and I'm like, well, this is why, I guess.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna pick that up.
That's cool.
I just think it's nice that Romero's on the Criterion list now.
Yeah.
Like, that's really sweet. There's not that many horror movies on Criterion.
I wonder if they're seeing the success of some of the horror movies from companies like, Scream Factory and Arrow and whatnot.
Possibly.
Maybe we should get in on that a little bit,
Well, and I mean, obviously, Night of the Living Dead is iconic enough. I mean, being one of the first movies to put a black man in a starring role like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not only a starring role, but a role of power and importance.
Yeah.
And then also just like creating the zombie genre, or making it what it is, at least.
Yeah.
Making it what it is today. So I can see why it's on that list.
Yeah. I think it definitely deserves to be on there.
Yeah. I think that Halloween did a lot for horror as a genre, but I'm not I don't know. I think you could make a case against Halloween for the Criterion list, but I think that Night of the Living Dead really deserves to be on there. Because I think when you take into account even just like that Night of the Living Dead is so influential in making zombies what they are today, how we as a society perceive zombies. We don't as a society perceive killers necessarily as Michael Myers. I think the impact of the film, Halloween did a lot for horror because it popularized the slasher genre, but it didn't really affect pop culture. Widely accepted culture.
Well, maybe it cemented that archetype of the unstoppable killer,
Yeah. Okay.
Because like maybe you wouldn't have had Jason Voorhees or Freddy or even Chucky, the idea of this killer that just continues coming back after he's been killed over and over again.
Yeah.
That seems to be I'm sure that there are other instances of that before Michael Myers, but within the horror genre, I feel like that series maybe popularized.
That'd be interesting to look into, because I'm not sure of like other slasher movies that preceded Halloween that had sequels that would allow for that unstoppable force to come through.
And it's not like you even needed to get the sequel to know because it ends with Loomis looking out in the yard and Michael Myers is gone.
Yeah.
So it's like this idea of this mysterious killer who seemingly cannot be killed. You know.
Yeah,
which I think has become very ingrained as far as like, you know, what people generally think about when their mind goes to like a slasher movie.
Yeah.
You imagine some sort of unstoppable killer who's probably going to come back for a sequel, even if he's completely dismembered and burned alive and buried in 5 different spots in the world. It's like something's going to happen and he'll be back in a few years.
Right.
So, I think that's become almost as customary to the slasher film as Romero's idea of the zombies has become to the zombie genre.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Well, maybe we'll get a Criterion Halloween release.
Maybe so. Oh, well. Okay. Well, I guess that's about it for this week. And yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back next week
With
more stuff.
more stuff. And
Well, next week is Thanksgiving.
it is
Thursday, so
That's true.
we'll have to either get together before or after.
Yeah. We'll sort it out.
Yeah, we'll sort it out.
Be back hopefully with some beer in hand.
Oh, definitely with beer in hand.
Yeah. So you guys stick around for the outro.
Yeah. Please look forward to it.
Thanks for listening this week.
Hope you enjoyed, chefs.
Hope you enjoyed. Keep up with us at our official website, www.superdivorceme.com, facebook.com/superdivorce, Instagram at superdivorceband, Twitter at superdivorce. If you want to get at me on social media, at Nicholas Villars, wherever you go.
If you want to get at me, you can find me on Instagram at BenderButt and follow me on Twitter at BenderButts.
And that's about it.
That's it.
So
I'm gonna go play Battlefront
I'm going to go to Target.
and buy Battlefront.
I'm tempted. But I'm also tempted to buy Skyrim and Doom. And I know I have to get to buy Rabbit Litter.
Yeah.
That's my must buy. So
So
all else is up in the air.
right.
So everyone, please look forward to our next episode next week. And
And we'll see you then.
see ya.
Bye.
Super Divorce.